نقول يا Sumi?
SubhanAllah.
That's right. We're actually going to go down into the earth. And we're going to see what's beneath the dirt that we are walking on. Hello, Dandelion, صح?
Oh, Dandelion.
Dandelion. Now, although we spend most of our time walking around on top of the earth, there's another world just beneath the surface, and there's so much to see and so much to say. SubhanAllah. So let's get digging. Now, just on the surface here, you'll find smaller plants like grass, clovers, and dandelions. But we're gonna dig deeper so that we can see more things to say. Sumi.
SubhanAllah.
SubhanAllah. Keep digging. مين اللي معاكي ده يا Sumi?
Boogie.
Boogie.
في رمضان.
This is Sumi's friend Boogie that joins us every Ramadan. نسيتي تقولي ايه؟
بسم الله.
بسم الله. بسم الله.
لسه.
Look what we found, Sumi. Look at that. Katie, do that. Look at that, everyone. This is what we call an earthworm. Let me see if I can pull it out. It's trying to escape from me. Subhanallah. حلوة دودة دي صح يا Sumi? And this right here is a maggot. It's like a smaller worm. Birds love to eat this.
Yay, dude.
Pussy! So worms are actually fascinating creatures because they don't have any eyes, but all they do all day is they dig through the dirt, and the dirt goes in one end, travels through their digestive system. The waste that the worms create is actually very, very, very good for the soil. And so when you have a lot of worms in the soil, it's a good sign that the soil is healthy, because the soil is constantly being cleaned. The earth is constantly being cleaned by these worms. نقول ايه؟
بسم الله.
لا انت هتاكليها؟
لا.
احنا بنقول ايه لما نشوف حاجة جميلة؟
سبحان الله.
سبحان الله.
مع أختها.
In addition to the worms, if we look very closely, there's thousands of other animals that live in the dirt. Some of them are so small that you need a microscope to see them. نقول ايه؟
سبحان الله.
Beautiful. Even though this earthworm is so small, subhanallah, it has 5 hearts that pumps blood from one end of the body to the other. Subhanallah.
لقيت دودة تانية.
فين؟ So these white creatures are called maggots or grub, and they feed on the roots of the grass and other small plants underneath the earth until they're large enough to turn into a beetle or another insect. Subhanallah. Now these earthworms are a major source of food for many animals, but especially birds. Birds love to eat earthworms because they're delicious and nutritious. SubhanAllah, everything is created in perfect balance. All of these living things, the trees, the grass, the earthworms, the birds, the fish, us, we depend on one another so that we can have healthy and prosperous lives. SubhanAllah. Even the rain is an important part of this balance and plays its part in feeding the birds, because when it rains, the earthworms crawl to the surface of the earth because they don't want to be in the water. And guess who's waiting outside for a quick meal? The birds. Subhanallah. Another gift that the earth gives us is a home for future plants, a home for seeds. And for many plants like this dandelion right here, the wind carries the seeds to far-off places and puts it into the earth for it to grow into a new plant. Subhanallah.
ريحة عسل.
ايه بصي في دودة كبيرة. واو وريها لي كده. No idea, Sumi.
SubhanAllah.
SubhanAllah, this tiny creature, this tiny earthworm right here is essential for the life of birds, for the life of fish, and for the life of the plants that live on the earth. For the grass and the trees to have healthy, clean, nutritious soil, it depends very much on these earthworms right here. SubhanAllah. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at what we have here. Look at this. SubhanAllah. This right here is an ant colony. It's a home for the ants. And they're all around us. You just have to take the time to stop and look and say SubhanAllah. Here is another beautiful gift that is coming out of the earth. Right here, these are brand new plants that are coming out of the earth after a long, cold winter. And many of the leaves and flower petals and branches that fall onto the ground eventually become part of the soil so that new plants can grow. SubhanAllah. One of the reasons that we go outside and say SubhanAllah is for us to recognize and appreciate the creation of Allah. That all of this is connected. The flowers, the trees, the ocean, the water, the grass, the worms, the fish, the squirrels, the deer, and us, all of us, we're connected and we depend on one another. Another fascinating thing about the earth is that when things die, when flowers die, when trees die, when plants die, when animals die, even when we die, we become part of the earth. And our bodies become food for the animals that live in the earth. If you think about it, it makes a lot of sense because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam alayhi salam, our father Adam alayhi salam, the very first human being out of the earth. And that is why when we leave this world, when we pass away, our bodies belong in the earth, into the ground. SubhanAllah.